Hello my fellow moviegoers, Chris is back here in the movie chair, and I got some pretty interesting movie news that I would like to discuss with you guys. So we already know that the X-Men series is going to have a new movie next year called The New Mutants, but X-Men is also going to have another new movie called X-Men Dark Phoenix, which will be a sequel to X-Men Apocalypse, and it will be starting up a new kind of trilogy for the X-Men series in that regard. It's going to take place after Apocalypse, and it's going to be telling the story of how Jean Grey becomes the Dark Phoenix. Now, hopefully this movie is going to go a little bit more detail into how she becomes Dark Phoenix, better than what X-Men 3 Last Stand did, and since X-Men Days of Futures Past kind of like erased everything that happened before in the previous trilogy, this movie can start anew and actually kind of give us the story that we've been looking for. But there's one thing that they are going to keep intact in this movie, and it's the fact that one of our X-Men, one of our favorite fighting heroes that we love so much, will meet their demise and die in this movie. Now you're probably asking, who's it going to be? Well, the only clue that we have so far is that the one that's going to die is somebody who was in the First Class team. So you have to look back to X-Men First Class to see who it's going to be. Now, of course, the studio is going to try to get us to be emotional about whichever one's going to die. And I know there are quite a few members in the First Class team, but I've narrowed it down to 4 people who I think could potentially die. It's either going to be Charles Xavier, Magneto, Hank, or Mystique. Now, I don't think they're going to go the route of Charles Xavier because Charles died in X-Men 3 Last Stand against Dark Phoenix. So it'd be kind of crazy and stupid of them to be that repetitive to have Charles die. Then again, it is Hollywood, so who knows maybe what happened with that, right? But if you want my 2 cents of what's going to happen, I think the character that we're going to see die is Mystique. Now you're probably asking yourself, how did you come up with this? Where did you get this kind of idea that Mystique would die from? Well, we'd have to look behind the scenes at this and go back to reports that said that Jennifer Lawrence would not be reprising the role as Mystique in Dark Phoenix and moving forward in the X-Men series. However, she has been added and Mystique will appear in the movie, and Jennifer Lawrence did an interview where she was asked, why did you come back to X-Men? What made you want to come back and do the Mystique character? And in her words, she said that she felt that the story of Mystique was not complete yet. Going back and looking at the end of X-Men Apocalypse, she felt that there was still something more there, something left unresolved in the character. And she wanted to come back to have the character story be kind of like full circle, be completed, because she felt if she didn't do that, it would be a disservice to the character and to the fans of the X-Men series. So taking this all into consideration, wanting to complete Mystique's story, things unresolved, just little keywords that she used, makes me believe that Mystique is going to be the one that ends up dying in this movie and maybe help motivate Charles and Magneto, because they both really cared for her, both in different ways, and both believed, their own ideas were good for her, but they both cared about her, and this might cause them to come together and fight Dark Phoenix in order to protect any more fellow mutants from getting killed. So that's my opinion. In Dark Phoenix, an X-Men from First Class is going to die. It will be Mystique. But who do you think is going to die in X-Men Dark Phoenix? Do you agree with me it's going to be Mystique? Do you think it's going to be Magneto? Maybe Hank? Maybe Charles? Anybody else? Please let me know down in the comment sections below, because that is what it is there for. And please don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, and also subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date with all the kind of upcoming movie news videos that we have. And speaking of other past movie news that has happened, check out the other videos that I've done, like this movie news about a possible Super Mario's animated movie. Well, alright my friends, that is all the time we have for today. I'll be seeing you guys later, and I will save you a movie chair for the next video.